Hello, my name is Nicole Cabral. I'm an Education Services Specialist at the Stone Education Center. Thanks for tuning in to our Facebook Live.
And my name is Laura Brown. I'm a transition education counselor, so I work with folks who are leaving the military today and want to interact with you guys as much as possible. Our bold statement for this morning is we want to try to inspire you to use some of that downtime that you have right now, because we know you may not be able to spend as much time as with your unit as you'd like to because of social distancing and other things that are going on. So let's start working on some of those personal goals that you have for learning new things and gaining new skills. What we're going to do this morning is we'll have a Q&A format. So Nicole and I will be asking one another questions that we've gotten from soldiers, but we're happy to take live questions as well. There's a chat box where you can type in your question, and we'll get to that as soon as we can this morning. So to kick things off, Nicole, my first question for you: are education counselors available right now?
That's a really good question, Laura. So the Stone Education Center is closed to service members at this time. However, all of the education counselors in the building are still working from home. If a service member needs assistance with pursuing their educational goals, they can set up a phone appointment through TimeTap. If you look in the chat box, you'll see the link for the TimeTap appointment system. Schedule an appointment through there, and a counselor will call you to assist you, answer your questions, and provide you advising services over the phone. You also have the option to send an email. We do have a group email box. You can submit your question through the email if that's your preference. If you can't commit to a phone call, go ahead and send us an email and we'll answer your question and assist you through email. Also, if your question is related to your Go Army Ed account, maybe tuition assistance or credentialing assistance questions, you also have the option to submit a Go Army Ed help desk case. We do monitor the help desk cases and resolve those cases within 24 hours. So definitely feel free to reach out either through a phone appointment, a web inquiry, or through a Go Army Ed help desk case, and we'll be happy to assist you and support you during the shutdown. I have a question for you, Laura. So I'm getting ready to transition out of the military. Do you have any advice for me?
As a matter of fact, we do have a bit of advice for those leaving the service. Bear in mind that leaving the military is never, first of all, an easy decision, nor is it an easy process. There's a lot going on right now in the world. I know that we are seeing every day that unemployment numbers are climbing at an alarming rate. So if you are planning on leaving the service, whether it was your plan to do so or sometimes it's just time to go, we do want to provide you the best possible service and advice and guidance on your journey. So please reach out to us. When Nicole mentioned those appointments, when my appointments come up, I'm always excited to talk to soldiers, and I want to talk to you about your situation and your plans, and especially as education relates to that. I know that some people may feel, and I certainly agree, that this is a time to reevaluate and maybe take that extension or maybe stay in the service a bit longer. But there are people, and I know for myself, when I left the military, it was time and I needed to go. And so regardless of what had been going on at the time, I think I would have gone ahead and taken that opportunity to leave the military and start my next career. How you want to approach the things that are changing right now, I think education is a great option, a way to kind of wait this out, to basically tailor those new skills that you'll develop to whatever is going on in the marketplace, and make yourself as prepared as possible for that. So that's what we're all about, trying to guide you into programs that will help you find a great career for your future, and then we definitely get very excited about doing that. So don't be shy about setting an appointment with an education transition counselor. Okay, so Nicole, one of the questions that I'm really wanting to ask you is this a good time to start taking classes with everything going on? Should I start tuition assistance?
That is a great question, Laura. So, and that is a question that we've received, quite often over the last month or so. So one thing that we would advise you to do is definitely talk to your chain of command, see what your training schedule looks like. That's going to be probably one of the first things that we recommend. even, back when things are back to normal and everyone's working. Look at your training schedule. We want to make sure that if you do sign up for classes, you are able to successfully complete them. If it looks like you do have a lot of downtime, then I would say definitely go for it. Start with one class. We do have a Go Army Ed 101 class. Unfortunately, due to the shutdown, we're providing that class virtually, so we can send you the slides. Those slides are going to give you all the information that you need to create a Go Army Ed account and familiarize you with the Go Army Ed portal and how to request tuition assistance. For those of you who've not used tuition assistance before or maybe do not know too much about it, as soon as you graduate AIT, you're eligible for credentialing assistance, tuition assistance and or credentialing assistance. Tuition assistance covers 130 credits at the undergraduate level. They'll pay for one associate degree, one bachelor's degree, and one master's degree. You get 16 semester hours of tuition assistance per fiscal year. So that's about 5 classes. So definitely, if you have some downtime, shop around, look at the classes that are available in the area or online. We have 8 schools on base that offer their classes face-to-face in the building when we're open. Right now, all of those classes are still being offered online. All schools are still operating online and providing advising services virtually. So I think it's a great time to get started. There's no time like the present. I know it's scary in the beginning, but once you get your momentum going, you get your feet wet, you'll be happy that you did it. So definitely go for it. Thanks, Laura. So I have a question for you. What's going on with the Buy 25 programs right now?
Yeah, so we had a meeting with the Buy 25 schools just this week. We did it on Zoom platform, which I know the military doesn't support, so I had to do that on my personal laptop to go on the Zoom and meet up with the colleges. For those of you who are not familiar with Buy 25, that's a program where you can attend a college training program during your last 6 months of active duty. This program is unique to Joint Base Lewis McChord. We offer a lot of programs, everything from welding to computer science, lots of stuff in the human services, business classes. These things are often that stepping stone into the new career that you'd like to get into. One of the things that the governments want us to get back to is building things and making things. So if you're interested in learning carpentry or you're learning a trade, this is a great place to get started with that basic electricity class that you'll need for construction. So we are still offering Buy 25 programs. The local colleges, 7 of them are on board and they have a lot of programs. So reach out to us. Normally on Fridays we would have a Buy 25 lab where you could come to look at all the possibilities. We're not able to offer that to you right now because of the building being closed, but our counselors are available to assist you with thinking this through and choosing a great program. One final thing about Buy 25 is that most of our participants are funded with a state grant program. So that grant pays for your classes and they buy books or tools that you need. And you can go to school, get a kickstart on your new career, and basically get that covered by the state of Washington. So it's an awesome opportunity. The next quarter will start this summer, right around the end of June. So if you're ETSing somewhere around the December timeframe, that's a good thing to start looking at, going to school for 1 or 2 quarters right now. The only things we really can't do at the moment are like the nursing assistant. They have to do clinical time. We'll need to go back to face-to-face, so we're waiting for the governor to clear those colleges to go back to face-to-face so we can train some more nurses and truck drivers because we know how everybody appreciates those people right now. So,
great info. Thank you, Laura.
Oh, you're welcome. So another question that, just has been really bothering me is, well, okay, I'm not leaving the military. I decided to stay in, but I took a look at my GT score, and I know my re-enlistment NCO is not impressed with the 85 that I have on my GT. So what can I do about that?
Great question. Yeah, so raising your GT score while you serve in the military is always a great start and a great goal. You may not be ready to take college classes, so looking at raising your GT score is, like I said, a great goal. So we do offer a BSEP class in the Stone Education Center. We do have an all-day class for 22 days. And then we also have a half-day class. The half-day class is offered in the AM and PM. Due to the operational challenges that we're facing right now, we are not offering BSEP face-to-face in the building. But if that is something that you're interested in pursuing in the future, what I would recommend is going on to the OASC CPST page through Peterson's. You can find that link in the comment section, and there's lots of preparatory work in there that can assist you with preparing to retake the ASCT and help you raise your GT score. So BSEP is optional. A lot of service members choose to use the OASC CPST through Peterson's. It's self-paced. You can prepare for the test on your own. We see a lot of success through that throughout the Army. So definitely check that out. Do the pre-assessment, check out the modules, do what you can. Like I said, it's all self-paced, and it'll definitely set you up for success. So thanks, Laura.
Cool.
So we did receive a question. The question is, how can I transfer my GI Bill, and what are the eligibility requirements? I'll let you answer that, Laura.
Okay, thank you for asking about the GI Bill. So my assumption with the question from Missy, thank you so much for putting your question in there for us, about transferring your benefits. The post 9/11 GI Bill can be transferred to your family members. If they are your dependents and dears, they can receive those benefits that you've earned. In order to be eligible to transfer the benefits, you have to serve a minimum of 6 years on active service, and then you have to commit, because this program is, believe it or not, an incentive program. So that incentive requires a 4-year service obligation to stay on active duty. So if you are looking at re-enlisting, that's something you want to do at the time you re-enlist, because you would then have to have that retainability for the 4 years in order to make the commitment. It's very easy to transfer the benefits. It's on the MilConnect website, and the steps are very simple to do that. And then the Department of the Army will let you know when that's been accepted. You serve out your service obligation, and then your spouse or your children can use those post 9/11 benefits. Thanks for that question.
Of course.
So I'm going to go ahead and ask Nicole another question now. This has been very frustrating for me, because I signed up for a class and I wanted to do this course. It was really interesting to me. But then what happened is my kids came home from school, and I've got 3 kids, and I'm actually spending all my time doing their homework right now. So what the heck can I do about this class I signed up for?
That's a great question, and a very common question right now. So we do understand that there are a lot of challenges going on right now in people's personal lives. So if you did sign up for a class and you've realized that there's no way that you can successfully complete the class due to military reasons, maybe you came up on orders, you got deployed, or maybe it's due to personal reasons like you mentioned, Laura. Maybe you're having to homeschool your children, do your children's homework, and you just can't commit the time required to the class that you signed up for. You do have an option to withdraw from that class through the Go Army Ed portal, and you can withdraw for military reasons, even if it's due to personal reasons. Due to the current pandemic, we are approving military withdrawals for personal reasons. All you have to do is go into Go Army Ed, withdraw from the class, fill out the TA recoupment waiver. That does require a commander's signature. Once you fill out that waiver, get your commander's signature and upload it, we will approve the military withdrawal, and there will be no financial repercussions to you. That class will drop off your Go Army Ed account. It won't affect your Go Army Ed TA GPA. So you do have that option. If you have questions about that or need additional assistance with submitting that withdrawal, definitely feel free to reach out, and we'll be happy to help.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, so my question for you, Laura, is unfortunately, I got in a little bit of trouble while I was serving in the military. I made a mistake, made some poor choices, and now I'm being chaptered out.
Was it weed?
No, I couldn't pass my PT test. So
okay.
I couldn't pass my PT test, so I'm being chaptered out of the military. And my squad leader told me I need a pre-separation counseling from the Ed Center for my chapter packet. Is there any way to get one of those pre-separation counselings during the shutdown?
Sure, and we do have an education person who's working at Waller Hall, and she really wanted us to let you guys know that she was not be able to do that for you at Waller Hall, but you can contact us. You can make an appointment at that TimeTap website, and we will assist you, and we don't judge. So if you did do marijuana, you just don't want to tell me that. That does happen a lot. People do. They do get in trouble in the military, or sometimes they're not able to meet those requirements for the physical standards that are there. There's many reasons why people could be discharged early. So we're going to help you with that education memo that goes in your chapter packet. We're going to make sure that that gets back to your chain of command so that they can move forward with processing you for early separation. And our part of it is just to let you know what, if any, GI Bill benefits you would still be eligible for. And so we're happy to discuss that with you, as well as helping you understand other things that you may be eligible for so you can go to school if you want when you leave the service.
That's great to know. Thank you, Laura.
Okay, so we have another live question coming in.
All right, thanks for the question, Jose. Jose's question is, when the Stone Education Center reopens, will we be able to schedule Clep tests right away? So that is a really good question, Jose. For those of you who are not familiar with the Clep test is a way that you can test out of a class and receive college credit if you pass the test without actually having to take the college class. So we encourage Clep. We promote it all the time. It's a great way to advance towards your degree a little bit quicker. Clep tests are administered through the National Testing Center. Our National Testing Center in the Stone Education Center is ran through Pierce College. Right now, there are still a lot of unknowns as far as when we will be able to administer tests in the building, both through the National Testing Center and the Army Personnel Testing Center. But that is one of the first operations that we do plan on opening because we do realize the importance of it. So we don't have exact dates right now on when we will open, but we would like to open those testing centers as soon as possible. There may be some changes on how we schedule those tests, how many tests we can schedule at one time, how many people can be in the classroom at one time. But please stay tuned, pay attention to our Facebook page. Through DPFR, we'll definitely push those updates to you as we have them. So thanks for the question, Jose. So one thing I wanted to ask you, Laura, is with so many programs converting to online, what are some tips for students who can't attend classes in person?
Well, that's a great question. And many times, even if you do go face-to-face, it can be challenging to be told, well, this class is only offered online, or I just signed up for the Microsoft program through Career Skills, and I just learned that I'm not going to get to go to the classroom at Stone Education Center or at St. Martin's. I'm going to have to do the whole thing online for now. So that's what's going on all over the state with all the classes for college students. So just a few tips for you guys. First of all, minimize distractions, because I know it's a very distracted world that we live in, but try to devote yourself and your attention and your concentration to what you're there to learn. Try to put, just flip that phone over. Don't be looking at your text messages. Try to stay off of Facebook. I know you guys want to be on here with us, but other than that, try to just focus on the classwork that you have. Another tip is to set a scheduled time. Make sure that you're on your computer during the times that you're supposed to be there, or if they don't have a scheduled time for you, make your own schedule. And at the time comes up, grab your energy drink, sit down, and start working on your coursework. Another thing I just want to really say is, even though the classes are being offered online, there's still human beings out there to assist you. So don't be afraid to ask for help, even if you're in an online class. If you have a question for that instructor, or you don't understand what's being come across, go ahead and ask those questions, just like you guys are doing now. So people are asking us live questions. Continue to do that during your online instruction. So we do have another live question.
Great info, Laura, and great advice. I agree.
So this question comes from Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. Can you tell airmen what GI Bill benefits they're eligible for? Or should airmen ask the Air Force Ed Center? That is a great question. We are happy to talk to folks in the Air Force. I teach a 2-day education class. I've had Marines in there, Navy, Coast Guard. We're more than happy to serve anybody who's in any service. We're probably going to give you the same answers because the GI Bill is a VA program, and VA is there for all of the services. They don't discriminate between any of the branches, so it's a blanket program that will do that for you. I guess the unique thing that we offer is that we do have transition education counselors at StoneEd. So if you're thinking about leaving the military or using your GI Bill, just feel free to reach out to us. We are a joint base, and so we're working on that special camouflage that everybody wears. I like seeing that. I personally love camouflage, so any kind of camouflage is good with me. But we're here for you guys, for all of you, and so just reach out and we'll provide assistance. Thanks for asking that. So I have a question for Nicole. How do I get in touch with my advisor at Pierce College?
That's a really good question, Laura. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have 8 schools in the Stone Education Center. All 8 of our schools are still providing advising services virtually, over the phone, and through email. So if you're a Pierce student, a Central Texas College student, a Brandman University student, any student with any of the schools located on Joint Base Lewis-McChord, definitely feel free to reach out to your school. They are all still working. They are all still providing classes, their upcoming terms, and contact information will be shared on the DPFR Facebook page. So we're going to share with you guys the upcoming start dates and contact information for all of the 8 on-post schools. So if you're a current student or you're thinking about getting started, definitely look for that school information and feel free to reach out to the school. I know they'd all be happy to hear from you and assist you. So thank you. All right, my question for you, Laura, is what can I look forward to with my post 9/11 GI Bill?
Well, thank you for asking. I know I keep talking about the GI Bill, but it's such an awesome benefit. And one thing I want to make you guys aware of is that the schools are still working. All the colleges are still there. They're adapting very quickly in this environment. I've heard things like the face-to-face classes, like labs, are being taught in a video format where the instructor, even a welding instructor, is demonstrating how to put down that bead, for that welding project. And so they're also just really gung-ho about bringing in students, and they're doing a great job. Another kind of a specific thing that you may or may not be aware of is that the VA has promised that even if you're on, because we all know that you want to go to school face-to-face, and that's what's ideal. And the incentives are built into the GI Bill for that. You're going to get rewarded if you go to school full-time and in person. The reason for that is because statistically, people who go to school full-time and in person finish their degrees. So the VA wants you to complete your degree, and during this time, even if your whole program got converted to online, they'll still pay you the full monthly housing allowance as if you were going face-to-face. Now that's only on converted programs, so a fully online program that isn't converted because of this COVID thing would still be paid at the rate for online students, which is half the national average. But if you're going to school, if you're thinking about going to college, I actually think this is a really good time to consider that, just because things are going to be changing in the economy. I think we can see that. And looking at career fields that will pay off in the long term, a lot of those are going to require a college degree. So there's a lot to look forward to with the post 9/11 GI Bill. If you talk with us, we'll also point you to other forms of funding. A lot of times people think they can't afford to go to school, but you'll be surprised by how much you can tap into if you decide to go to college after you leave the military. Thanks.
Thanks for the information, Laura.
Okay, so I know you told us about those Clep tests, and that's really great, but my deal with testing is I need to take my language proficiency test because I'm getting paid for the language that I speak, and I need to get that test updated. So what can I do about that?
Great question, Laura. So that is a question that we've received pretty frequently over the last month as well. So like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, due to the closure, the Army Personnel Testing Center in the Stone Education Center is closed. Um, One positive is they are giving a 90-day exception to policy with any languages. So if you do need to retest, please note that there is a 90-day exception to policy for retaking the DLPT. So if you need any information, if for some reason you are not getting paid or you have questions, you want to see the policy document on that 90-day ETP, definitely feel free to reach out. We can shoot you that policy document, give you all the updated information on that exception to that change. So thanks for asking. And like I said earlier, soon as we are able to open safely, testing is one of the first things that we do plan on opening. We want to make sure that things are safe. We're going to take all the proper precautions to make sure that everyone stays safe, but also that the tests are being administered that the service members and the JBLM community need. So that is our priority. So we did receive a question from a viewer. Crystal, thanks for your question. So the question is, who is eligible to use services from the Stone Education Center? So thanks for your question, Crystal. Any service member can come in and receive services or call us, reach out to us and receive any of our services, along with spouses and dependents, adult students or dependents, anyone who is getting ready to start college, needs help with getting started, looking at different sources of funding. We help spouses all the time. So if a spouse is thinking about starting college, even though a spouse may not be eligible for tuition assistance, there's plenty of scholarships out there for spouses and dependents. There's grants. We're happy to help any service member, any spouse, dependent of a service member, and even DoD civilians. So if you have an ID card, you have access to the base. Definitely feel free to reach out to the Education Center and we'd be happy to help.
Okay, well, thank you so much for participating in today's Facebook Live.
Thank you guys. I hope we encouraged you, inspired you, and if you have any questions, definitely still continue to send them to us. We're here to support you and help you. Stay safe. See you soon.